Hey guys, welcome back to Ultimate. My name's Emily and today's video is a quick external tour of our Nexus. So let's find Michael to tell us a little bit about the Nexus.
G'day. So as Em was saying, we'll give you a bit of an outside tour of our flagship model, the Nexus. Where can I start? Okay, now this particular Nexus, Wendy and I have just gotten back from a 14,000 kilometre trip from here across the centre. We did the QAA line right out to Popel's Corner and then up the Hay River track to the Plenty Highway into Alice, up to Darwin for a show up there, across to Broome, into the Kimberleys, Gibb River Road of course, and then up a pretty extreme track called the Munger track up to Baxdene Creek, and then back down Gibb River Road, Tanami, of course the mandatory Wolf Creek, and we actually got stuck up there, thank goodness for winches, but you'll probably see that later on a video soon. Down to Alice Springs and then across the hardest leg of all, the Madigan line. And this camper, as we hoped, as we expected, performed flawlessly. Nothing come loose, not an issue, and also the 79 series did superbly. So we're looking at one that's done some work, not one fresh off the factory floor. Pretty much standard on a lot of our campers is the reverse light. This has also got a switch on the inside so that not only does it come on when you put your vehicle in reverse, but you can switch on the light for illuminating the campsite. As we come down the side, again our standard lockers. Now this locker we use for all sorts of different gear. Some people can put the Porta Potty 335 into there. We have the brackets on the side for our external cooking table, a stainless steel cooking table. That works really well. And into the front locker here, and of course that's our gas bottle locker where we've got twin 3.5 kilo gas bottles, one primary, and of course we've always got a reserve for outside cooking or purely for backup. Again, a feature that you can have on other Ultimates but is standard on a Nexus is the external shower system. A little bit of red centre dust around there as you can see. These are as simple as just putting them in, turn them on, and if we had power to the water pump I'd be able to give myself a, whoa, we do have power, a shower. And that's hot and cold of course. Fantastic, simple, doesn't use a lot of water. You've actually got to keep that shower, your finger on that for water to be coming out, which basically means you're not going to be wasting too much of it. We also have a standard on a Nexus, we have the space heating system on the inside from Truma. So on the outside all you see is a flue and the flue cover, and on the inside you can see the Truma heater up in this corner. Mounted up out of the road, nice and easy. Now there's still a fair amount of stuff from our trip, just sort of leftover stuff from our trip in here, right down to some of the firewood that we took. And I've got to say, in 8 weeks away, I never used any of the firewood we took on our journey because we had ample firewood in all of the places we camped. So I actually brought it back. Internally as well, standard on a Nexus, we've got our pole racks. And we're also putting in a nice simple Velcro strap that helps to secure those in place. Standard in all Ultimates is the internal Bootlight. As I say, this is yet to be fully detailed, but if you were to look at the inside of that gull wing, you'll see that it's particularly clean. The dirty line there is the seal, and the dust has stopped at the seal. So we're very pleased with, considering the bull dust we've been in, how little has made it past our seals. So another thing there, as I said, 14,000 kilometres, a lot of it very hard going, and you can see how pristine the front of this still is, and it's because we are running the rock armour. Now this has certainly suffered in the journey, it's discoloured, it's hammered, it's peppered, but it's done its job. and that is protecting the camper itself. Another example, when you have a look at that and look at what good order it's in, look at the drawbar. It wasn't protected and it's got dings and dents and chips, but if you've got enough light, look in underneath the camper and see how the rock blasting has really knocked the automotive body shuts around. Now that's to be expected. If you throw rocks at things, expect some damage, but this is looking great. Now also standard on some of our range, and in particular the Nexus, is the DO35 coupling, off-road coupling from Cruisemaster. Also their handbrake, and that is really good gear. It's as good as it gets, and that's what Ultimates are about, only ever specifying the very best gear. We also have our own jockey wheel. The parts actually come from New Zealand, but we do the fabrication and coatings here, and they swing up totally out of the road when you're in transit. Now more on the Nexus, and internally we have the Red Arc 1500 watt inverter. Now that allows us not only to charge batteries and run computers or the like, but it allows us to run our coffee machine. It's fantastic. Even if you had a toaster or a hairdryer, and I'm not suggesting you should take them, that's got the power to run them. And through our electrical system, and our electrical system's been upgraded with an optional red vision system to go in. So on our later models, if you like, you can tick the box for red vision, and that gives you complete touchscreen powering up from inside or even from your phone. So in behind this panel, you've got the Red Arc battery manager, the 30, which again is throughout the range, and you've also got the Truma 14 litre gas hot water system. And of course, being in those cones such as that, you've got a humongous amount of storage. We typically carry 2 jerry cans in this holder full of water when we need that extra water. But do remember that the camper's tank is 110 litres, another 14 litres in your hot water system, and you should really be carrying spare water in your vehicle, because if you're away from camp, break down, that's where you're going to need the water, not back at the camp. Still, you can carry extra water in here. And this here is the flue for that hot water system, and we've just put on a little retaining system so that it helps you get it on, it helps you get it off, and most importantly, if it falls off, you haven't lost it. 240 volt power inlet, 15 amp of course. So one of the features that's unique to the Nexus is the twin 100 amp lithium ion batteries from Revolution. Now these only weigh in at about 11 kilos each versus about 30 kilos each for your AGM type batteries. So there's a huge weight saving there. Plus we've found in real use that with the AGM batteries we might only be able to use 50% of the available power. With these babies we're using 70, even up to 80% of the available power. So it actually gives you more juice, less weight. Admittedly they're not a cheap product, but they are superb. And the last locker is the locker typically that used to be used as our wine cellar with a special storage rack. A lot of the time this space now I actually use for carrying firewood, the chopped up variety, and I find I can put a whole oat bag full of firewood in there. Okay, so that's pretty much a tour of the outside of the Nexus. On our next video we'd like to be able to give you a tour of the features of the inside. So from Michael at Ultimate, see you later.